You guys, this is Adam Gillespie with Rancid and Sweaty Calves coming at you with yet another video. And in case you don't know, Disney has been in this battle against the state of Florida over the parental rights bill for probably 6 to 8, maybe even a whole year now. 6 to 8 months, maybe even do a whole year now. Starting with Florida introducing this bill that gave parents the rights to know what was going on in their children's classrooms, leading into the qualification that no sexual identity should be spoken about in said classrooms, and that kids from kindergarten through 3rd grade should not be exposed to sexual gender identity of any kind, which was then labeled as the Don't Say Gay bill by the media and by leftist freaks on Twitter. And Disney initially stayed out of it, but then literally like a day after they announced that they were going to stay out of it, Bob Chapek got on his knees with a rainbow-colored gun pointed to his head, metaphorically of course, and he apologized to the leftist freaks on Twitter and the media for not sticking up for gay people regarding this bill to sexualize children. This bill that would be against the sexualization of children. And it got worse and worse from there. Florida revoked Disney's essentially government status and brought them back down to the level that every other business operates at in Florida. And since then, Disney has thrown a hissy fit and decided to sue Florida. Now, Desantis is suing Disney back. DeSantis appointed board fires back at Disney with its own lawsuit. Governor Ron DeSantis' handpicked oversight board fired back at Walt Disney World on Monday, authorizing its legal team to represent board members who were sued by the company last week and file a countersuit in Central Florida court. Disney chairperson Martin Garcia sued the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board to stop it from bringing new and better ideas because innovation is the American way. He outlined some of the board's actions since taking over, such as hiring new staff and promoting increased state oversight of the district. In essence, Disney is asking for a federal court in Tallahassee to wrestle back the hands of time to 1967, while this board is instead charged legislatively with bringing the district into the 21st century with the new and better policies and practices, he said. The board, Garcia said, didn't enact the laws over which Disney and DeSantis are at odds. It simply follows the laws enacted by the legislature. This district will seek justice in state court here in Central Florida, where both it and Disney reside and do business, he said. We'll seek justice in our own backyard. The board filed its countersuit in a state court in Orange County on Monday. Disney filed its lawsuit last week on the federal court for the Northern District of Florida of Tallahassee. And there are 188 pages, it looks like, in this little article here. And I'm not going to read all of those 188 pages in this video because that would take an hour. The lawsuit by the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board alleges that Walt Disney Parks and Resorts U.S. Incorporated, through the board's predecessor, the Reedy Creek Improvement District Board, previously failed to provide notice of public hearings, unlawfully delegated governmental authority to a private entity, lacked authority to enter into a development development agreement, and violated the Florida Constitution and state statutes. Board member Ron Perry, the only other person to speak on Monday's meeting in Lake Buena Vista, took a few minutes to attack the media. The board members, he said, aren't political individuals trying very hard to force an agenda. That is the governor's. The reality is that there did need to be a change, Perry said. People may not be happy by the way it came about. They may have political views that convince them that it shouldn't have come about that way. The battle between DeSantis and Disney began when the company voiced opposition to the legislature's passage in 2022 of the Parental Rights in Education bill. Kudos to Tampa Bay Times for actually labeling it correctly, which prohibited classroom instruction on gender identity in issues in certain grades. Yes, 100% agreed. The government tried and failed to dismantle the long-standing Reedy Creek Improvement District with legislation, but had to repeal that law because it would have left local residents to shoulder nearly $1 billion in debt. In February, DeSantis sought again to wrestle control of the Disney-controlled districts, but that effort was preempted to a degree when the Disney-backed board approved agreements that freeze existing regulations in place for decades, undercutting the authority of the new board appointed by the governor. At the company's recent annual meeting, Disney CEO Bob Iger spoke up against the governor's actions, calling the move anti-business and anti-Florida. The Desantis-appointed board voided the previous board's development agreements and restrictive covenants last week, the same day that Disney sued Desantis. So, who's in the right here? Obviously, it's DeSantis, because Disney decided to go in complete and total direct opposition as its own pseudo-governmental state in the state of Florida to a parental rights and education bill, which is supposed to prevent the sexualization of children, and Disney likes the sexualization of children. If you want evidence of that, look at their last few movies and the not-so-secret gay agenda that they spoke about in that Zoom meeting that got leaked a year ago. Disney needs to pay for the crimes that they've committed. Disney needs to get the pedophiles out of their ranks. Which, I mean, I think it was in Orange County, I believe. A couple of sheriffs arrested, I believe, 12 members of staff at the Disney World, the Walt Disney World location in Orlando, in a pedophile ring. Disney has notoriously been after the eyes and the hearts of young children, and it only gets worse and worse and worse as we find out more and more about them, and their desire to sexualize children through the media that they create is only getting more and more prevalent. And DeSantis is in the right for trying to prevent Disney from being able to do that on a large scale where they have completely and totally zero restriction due to the fact that they were a pseudo-governmental state in their little area of Orlando. Those are my thoughts. That's really it. Disney should not have the power it's had here in Florida for as long as it's had it. It should not have had the ability to act as though it was its own governing authority. It's just wrong. There's no reason for that. It's a business, great, sure, but it should not have the authority to arrest people in their own state and prosecute people in their own little governmental area. It should be a requirement that all businesses in the state of Florida work in tandem with the laws of the state of Florida, not have their own laws, as is with the situation with Disney. So of course, Disney should have to play by the same rules as every other company in Florida. That's all that DeSantis did, and Disney doesn't like that because it takes away all the power they have to destroy children. Oh well. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. And I do want to apologize before I end the video for not uploading for about a week. As you can hear from my voice, it's a bit clogged. I have been a little bit sick. I'm dealing with some nasal issues, and I haven't had much time to work on things outside of just going to work and coming back. And I'm a little tired, so I do apologize for that. I know it's not necessarily an excuse. I could have probably talked through a sore throat and whatnot, but nevertheless, I do apologize to you guys. I hope you found this video enjoyable. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, share this video out there with your friends, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss a video that I upload, and check me out on all my different socials, including my Rumble. I leave links to those in the description below. If you can't click on the links, my Patreon, I believe, is just Sweaty Calves. My Rumble is Rancid, capital RANTSIT, all caps, all one word, no space, and my Twitter is Sweaty Calves 2. If you look up Sweaty Calves 2 on Twitter, you can find me there. That is the extent of the links that I leave in my description below. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.